Welcome to the first episode of Midnight Madness, the show where we talk about all things music, from historical events to conspiracy theories and everything in between. Episode 1, The Day the Music Died. On the 3rd of February 1959, rock stars Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens and J.P. Richardson, also known as the Big Bopper, were killed when their plane crashed 5 minutes after taking off. They had just played a show at the Surf Ballroom in Clear Lake, Iowa. The show was a last-minute addition to the Winter Dance Tour. The official tour lineup was Buddy Holly, J.P. Richardson, Ritchie Valens, Dion and the Belmonts, and Frankie Sardo. This tour already had many problems of its own. They were scheduled to play in a different city every night non-stop for 24 days. They had no road crew to help them out. They were responsible for loading and unloading their own equipment every night. They had to travel in a reconditioned school bus, which broke down and had to be replaced several times. They had no heating and weren't equipped to handle the freezing temperatures and the heavy snowfall. And as a result, Buddy Holly's drummer Carl Bunch had to leave the tour early due to developing frostbite in his leg. They dubbed it the Tour from Hell. Growing tired of the touring schedule, Buddy Holly hired a plane to take himself and his band to Fargo, North Dakota, so he can get some rest before the next gig. Meanwhile, J.P. Richardson had fallen ill with the flu and asked Holly's bass player Waylon Jennings for his seat on the plane. He said okay, and he agreed to take the bus instead of flying. And when Ritchie Valens heard about the flight, he begged Holly's guitarist Tommy Alsop for his spot on the plane. Tommy didn't know what to say, so they agreed to let fate decide. So they flipped a coin, and Valens won his spot on the plane. When Holly learned that Jennings wasn't going to fly, he jokingly said, "I hope your bus freezes up," and Jennings instantly replied with, "Well, I hope your old plane crashes." That little joke would come back later to haunt him for the rest of his life. After the show, the Surf Ballroom's manager, Carl Anderson, drove Holly, Valens and Richardson to Mason City Municipal Airport, where they met up with pilot Roger Peterson. The musicians boarded the small 1947 Beechcraft 35 Bonanza, and they left the airport at 12:55 a.m. and crashed 5 minutes later, less than 6 miles northwest of the airport. Everyone on board died instantly on impact. News of the crash spread rapidly across the United States through radio and TV broadcasts. Buddy Holly's wife, Marie Elena, learned of the accident on a TV news broadcast and suffered a miscarriage shortly after due to psychological trauma. And as a result of that, an official policy was adopted by authorities to not disclose the victims' names until after the families were informed. Despite of the tragedy that just happened, the Winter Dance Party Tour continued for another 2 weeks, with Waylon Jennings filling in for Buddy Holly. Buddy Holly was 22 years old and best known for his songs That'll Be the Day, Peggy Sue and Oh Boy. He is buried in his hometown Lubbock, Texas. J.P. Richardson, also known as the Big Bopper, was 28 years old and best known for his songs Chantilly Lace, Little Red Riding Hood and White Lightning, as well as his famous catchphrase, "Hello baby." He was laid to rest at Forest Lawn Memorial Park, Lamont, Texas. Ritchie Valens was the youngest musician on board. He was only 17 years old and had 2 number 1 hits, Donna and La Bamba. He also had many other popular songs, including Come On Let's Go and We Belong Together. He was laid to rest at San Fernando Mission Catholic Cemetery, Los Angeles, California. And let's not forget the pilot, who also lost his life that night, Roger Peterson. He was 21 years old and he was buried at Buena Vista Memorial Park Cemetery, Iowa. Memorials can be found for these 4 men at both the crash site and at the Surf Ballroom in Clear Lake, Iowa. The accident is mentioned in the 1978 film The Buddy Holly Story, and in the 1987 film La Bamba, which depicts the life of Ritchie Valens, his rise to fame, and the aftermath of his death. Many artists paid tribute to the late musicians over the years at the Surf Ballroom's annual tribute to the Winter Dance Party, which started in 1979. Don McLean also paid tribute in his 1971 hit American Pie. And that's why the 3rd of February 1959 will always be known as the day the music died. Thank you for watching the first episode of Midnight Madness. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes.